morning, this is Aunt Beth. Welcome to my lamppost, the light that I'm currently living in. Today, what's been rolling around in my head and I wanted to talk to you about is friends, the friendship zone. Entering the friendship zone, auditioning for friends. And what triggered this chain of thought is Proverbs 12:26 that says, "The righteous should choose his friends carefully, for the way of the wicked leads them astray." And I think in this day and age, we're hesitant to put boundaries or structure the situation to protect ourselves for fear of being called racist or exclusive or whatever. But I want to encourage you and give you permission to be intentional about your life. Even God has friendship zones, and even Jesus had friendship zones. I'll prove it to you. Okay. Jesus had a best friend. His name was John. He had a circle of close friends, John, James, and Peter. Then he had his circle of disciples or close friends, and then there was everybody else. And the Bible also talks about like Lazarus being a friend and yada yada. God sets up his temple with zones, okay? And I want you to maybe think about, as an idea, your life this way. There was the outer court, okay? Of course, there's the world, the city. And then the temple was set up. There was an outer court. And that was for anybody, and that was transactional business, things having to do with the temple, all right? And then there was the inner court. And there was criteria to go from one zone to the other. In the inner court, you were committed. You were prepared. You were intentional about what you were doing there. And then there was the Holy of Holies. Okay? And that was extremely special, and only one person could go. All right? So God had different zones and different criteria for going from place to place to place. It wasn't that anybody walking through the city could go into the Holy of Holies. And I want you to be a little bit more protective about your life and intentional. Oh, and there was another thing. The positioning of the temple. It wasn't just random as far as, oh, this looks like a nice spot. But it was positioned for the light, to catch the first light, and the light shone all the way through the temple. Okay? So I guess the question is, how are you positioned? Psychologists say that if you want to know your future, take a look at your 5 closest friends. Well, that's kind of scary. But it shows the importance and the influence that friends have in our life. Now, some friends you make along the way in your life, school, work, okay, hobbies, mission trips. And if you're concerned and say, well, I know I want to go here and I don't have any friends that are headed that way, well, that's a good sign that you need to change your life. And I would encourage you that until you get some physical friends to dialogue with and challenge each other, They have books. You have a chance to mentor with Solomon, the wisest man who ever lived. Proverbs. Read a proverb a day, whatever the number of the day is. Instead of reading your horoscope, read that numbered proverb. So today's the 14th, I think. Read Proverbs 14. Mentored by Solomon. How awesome. People would love to spend time with Elon Musk and, whoever your mental heroes are, your thinkers, Jordan Peterson. They would love to be mentored by these people, but you can be mentored by the wisest man that ever lived every day. So books change your life. A quick thought I want to talk to you about also is the outer court was transactional business, the material physical world. If you want to draw the analogy, then the inner court is your brain. What are you thinking about? Where is your focus? Where are you spending your time mentally? Okay. And then the innermost sanctum is your spirit. Be very selective about who you let closest to you. Protect your heart. When you're driving or you're learning to drive, you learn that wherever you're looking is where the car is going. So where are you looking? So I hereby give you permission to be selective and intentional about your friendships. Think about your priorities, what you would like them to be. Where do you want your life to end up? Don't just float along and whatever comes your way is whatever comes your way. That's not the heart of the champion that God's called you to be. Choose. Work for it. Be intentional about your life. You got this. So, I hope that's good food for thought for you. So I hereby give you permission. Have a fabulous day. All God's best.